This is the story of how I got my first moose. Stay tuned to the end and I'll show you some pictures of just how big these things really are.
They're really big. Yeah. Oh man.
Okay. So, I was texting Dad because I was walking down the field, the south field of the property, and as soon as I started walking, I heard some crashing through like sticks. And that's when I started texting Mark, going, I think there's something here, go around to the other side of the property, I'll try and push it to you. And then I kept walking, there was nothing. And so I got around to the bottom of the property, or the bottom of the field where the trees swing out to the east. And when I was about halfway there, I heard a cow calling. And it wasn't like a long, drawn out one. It was like 3 shorter ones. And so I got farther down to sort of the trees where the trees start to turn, and I heard it again. And it was a lot farther away than that time, Mark, you and me saw that cow and bull.
Yeah.
So it was a lot quieter than that. And so that's when I texted Dad. So I got down to where I could like see into that big clearing of grass at the bottom. And I texted Dad and go, if I hear a cow moose bawling, how do I call back to it? And he goes, 3 short grunts and rake a bush and then wait. And so I haven't moose grunted in forever, so I do these like pathetic little grunts, 3 of them. And then I got bored. I waited like 3 minutes, and so I started walking. And I walked to the edge of the trees to look around them, and I was like, I won't go that way. I start walking back, and I'm just looking into the trees. I was about to text Dad again, and all of a sudden, in that strip of trees between the field and that grassy meadow there, I hear, and it's walking right towards me, and it's like 60 yards away. I see it come out, and I had moved over where this willow tree was in the way, and so I had a gap I could shoot through, but there were a couple twigs and stuff, so I was just watching it through my scope, and it's just every step. And so I didn't take the shot, and it diagonal to exactly the spot where I had grunted just over there. So now I'm looking west down the tree line, and it disappeared out of my view and kind of went silent for a second. So I walked up and ripped on a branch on a bush and grunted 3 times, and then he raked and grunted and walked out into the field. And I could see him coming, so I had time to set up. Nice kneeling shot, elbow on my knee, and he came out and stopped and blouch. And then he ran like 20 yards out into the field some more and started like coughing, like nasty coughs. And I started texting Dad. I started texting you, Mark. And so I told you don't come. I think after he laid down, I told you don't come, and my phone ran out of battery. Because I waited, I don't know, a couple minutes while he was just like hack coughing to lay down. Then he laid down, and he laid down with his butt to me. And that's a picture I sent to Dad. You could just see his antlers sticking up in the mist. And his head was still up. It was low, but it was up. And after a while, he started moving his head side to side like this, and it got more and more pronounced. Then he laid on his side, and unfortunately, I had the first part on camera until he laid down. And my phone died, so I couldn't film the rest. But I watched him through the scope on like 18 power. So I see the whole moose, and he eventually rolled to his side, and when he rolled onto his side finally, he started kicking his legs, and he started stretching his head up in the air, and his mouth was open like he was wailing, but he wasn't making any noise. Just this big, death, leg kicking, rolling, trying to get up and can't get his legs under him, and stretching his neck out like for a long time. And then finally he laid his head right down on the ground and made like one more cough sound. And the whole time I'm still like in kneeling position trying to adjust my ankles so they don't break even on the ground. And then once he did that last cough, I figured he was dead and was safe, and so I got up and backed out and walked around a loop to the field, and here we are.
Nice. Just walking up on Duncan's bull moose right now. He's over there, coming around to the backside. He's dead.
They're really big.
Yeah. Oh man. What have we got here, eh? Well, that's a big boy.
You can smell him, eh?
Well, grab the antlers.
Yeah, he does have a drop tine here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting little... Oh my gosh.
Take some photos too?
I will.
This thing is freaking huge. Way bigger than a bull elk.
Yeah.
So here you can see some of the photos we took after the shot and how big it is relative to me. I could barely hold the head and antlers up like that in that photo. The whole moose, the spread was, I believe, 29.5 tip to tip. You can see how huge the heart there is. And then these photos just show you that's a front leg. That's a front leg again. And then the back leg on this last one, just to show how huge these animals are. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.